A dystopia describes a fictional place that is compounded out of all the things that make humanity shitty. It's the corruption of every horrible system we have pressed into one. Totalitarian governments, slavery, unbearable social standards, a class system, police brutality, violence. So why is it then that I feel most hopeful after diving into these worlds? If I think about my favorite stories, I don't think about the corruption of the capital, or the deeply wrong class system of Divergent, or the infected in The Last of Us. I remember Katniss singing while Rue is dying, and Capture the Flag, and this scene.
Happy birthday, kiddo.
What is this?
This is a thing that took a mighty effort to find.
For a lot of people, me included, dystopian worlds show a very personal and human kind of hope, an individualistic perspective on what it means to rebel, which is far removed from the end goal of dismantling the system. While growing up, all these sorting systems gave me, a lonely gay teenager from the more rural areas around Berlin, an easy promise of belonging. I was almost disappointed when whatever her name was turned out to be Divergent. I wanted to fit neatly in a box, goddammit. At that time I believed, although I knew it was wrong, that the world would be so much easier to navigate if everyone had a neat little label. But maybe that was just the autism speaking. After the search and following downfall of all these YA dystopian books, the genre somewhat died. A genre that is inherently anti-capitalist just couldn't hold up when people tried profiting off of it after the success of the Hunger Games series. Trying to make money in a capitalist society where your book is inherently anti-capitalist is a moral paradox most authors cannot solve. In the last couple of years though, these stories seem to be coming back. The Last of Us, the new set of Hunger Games books, Cyberpunk 2077, in a way. And I think that's for a few reasons. For one, all dystopian settings are a mirror of our current society. Capitalism, poverty, segregation, war. Escaping into this as a form of relaxation might seem a little strange, but honestly, it's so nice to have the wrongness clearly spelled out before you for once. Dystopias are relaxing because the story itself is very honest about the world being shitty. It's not about escapism into the idea of burning down the system, but escapism into clarity. Propaganda that isn't directed at me is something I can dismantle. Systems from which I am not benefiting can be corrupt. Horrible people being horrible to someone I like instead of me are the ones I can fight. I want to know who the enemy is, and as informed and educated as I am, it is exhausting to go looking for what I am supposed to change, because I cannot trust anyone to tell me what it is without risking to be subjected to their personal beliefs. There is no objective evil in reality, but there is one in fiction. The other big reason, and it kinda goes hand in hand with the first, is seeing people being themselves. Even when everything is shitty. Especially when everything is shitty. It's easy being likable when you are the main hero in a journey of greatness, but less so if you're just an ordinary person stuck in an ordinary system that you hate. Don't get me wrong, of course dystopia is full of the chosen one archetypes. It might even be the worst genre when it comes to this specific trope. But mostly these people don't have superpowers or the ability to speak to animals, and they aren't secretly the daughter of the old king or some bullshit. These people are ordinary because they have dumb luck and a few useful skills and plot armor. And I, too, am pretty ordinary, have a few useful skills and hopefully a bit of plot armor. Usually in dystopian stories, heroes aren't special because they have some magical ability, but because they refuse to get flattened into a machinery they don't want to be part of. I can relate to that, the part of being stuck in a system I hate and fighting to not lose myself and my morals inside of it. I hate capitalism and its lies and its false promises with a burning passion. I would like nothing more than to burn it all to the ground. Even though I am profiting from it, even though I am doing well in it, even though I am working in corporate, helping to make people rich who use that money for nothing important and everything wrong. Or maybe because of that, because I would love not to be part of that system. But I have to be, because currently there is no real alternative. At least not for me. So all I can do is not get flattened into this machinery, to not abuse or exploit the people working under me, to not dismiss mental health, to not make people feel like they owe anything to a company that doesn't care about them as individuals. And Dystopia? This shitshow of everything I hate about this world we live in? It's full of this specific kind of hope that makes people think about what it means to be themselves and what it means to never stop fighting for themselves. These worlds are fundamentally about the hope that comes from being yourself. The best moments in The Last of Us Part 1 and 2 aren't the big ones. When Ellie steals Bill's magazines and reads them in the car, or her talking about movie night with Joel, or Abby beating Owen and Mel in the bow minigame. The whole museum sequence. This sentence.
Did you hear what they called me?
Yeah.
Do you want to ask me about it?
Do you want me to ask you about it?
No.
Okay.
These worlds are so full of people being funny or witty, of them being human. One of my favorite dystopian stories is Cat Strut. It's a lit RPG about a young disabled gay woman getting an alien AI implanted into her brain to fight aliens. There is also a pyromaniac nun. And this story isn't nearly as gritty and dark as most dystopias, but it's the most realistic in showing how even superhuman powers can't just burn a deeply wrong system to the ground, because the issues are so much deeper than one girl with an attitude. There are a lot of things that make this series a great case study because it breaks with so many staples of the genre, but none of these are what actually stuck with me. There is one scene, though, at the end of book 6 that perfectly encompasses this concept of people being themselves. See, Cat, the protagonist, is an idiot. She isn't well educated, she is violent and constantly horny and isn't what you'd call a professional. Cat is weird, she says all the wrong and inappropriate things, and she's a rather blunt person. She doesn't hide the fact that she only knows half of what she should. Cat is approximately the worst person to be in charge of saving the planet. But at the end of book 6, we see her through her best friend's, the Pyro Nun's, eyes for one moment. Our clumsy, awkward protagonist is standing on the stage, saying all the wrong things with the grace of a bulldozer, while inspiring the people around her to fight for their world. I don't read or watch or play dystopian stories for the inevitable downfall of the government, or to satiate some deep-rooted hatred for capitalism, but for these people being stuck in the middle of it and finding reasons to be themselves, to laugh and to keep going. I think the sheer idea of a post-apocalypse is somehow romantic, because it means there is something left in a place that isn't a place anymore. There are people left where none should be, and love and care for one another, even though everything is telling you to only look out for yourself. Until then, I am Bika, and we did a lot of things today.